Hello and welcome to the Heal Deal podcast. I am very excited to be talking about this topic. It's one of the most favorite things I love to talk about. I love anatomy, I love physiology. So hopefully you'll be just as excited to hear this as I am to share it because I really understand that when we're on this journey to healing, we got to understand our vehicle. And that's what I'm going to get into today. Because our bodies are precious. And once you understand the complexity of it all, I think you'll learn to appreciate it and be more encouraged to take better care of it. Because your body is what makes you you. It is your vehicle that gets you through this thing called life. And it's your responsibility to take care of it. Your body is your vessel. It's what carries who you are physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. It's your body that allows you to connect with the world around you. It allows you to touch, to smell, see, hear, taste, think, and do. And without your body, these experiences wouldn't be possible. And the more that you understand your body and its complexity, the more you will honor and appreciate it. Our bodies are a gift, and we need to value it as such. We only get one in our lifetime. Now, I know that many of you listening to me may not have all the details or studied the human anatomy. You may not know very much about how it works and what it needs to stay healthy. And I get that. In this journey, our body is our vehicle, and it makes sense to know how to operate it and know those signs that's telling us that something is wrong. So many of us are making these health decisions, not realizing this. And after this episode, I believe you will have a clear understanding of what it takes to get well and stay well. So, with this lack of knowledge, we're making decisions based on how we feel or how we look, or basically just on what we know. And we're failing to find effective solutions because we are not aware of the underlying cause or problem, or we just don't know what to do. And if you don't know what the problem is, it will be extremely difficult to find the correct solution. So I'm going to start this topic by using a vehicle analogy. Now, imagine that you've been driving your vehicle for several weeks with the check engine light being on, and you've noticed the light and you continue to drive because it still seems to be running okay. So at the moment, nothing appears to be seriously wrong with your car, and you think that maybe it's just a check engine light malfunction, so you ignore it and continue to drive your vehicle. Then one day, on your way to work, you start to notice smoke coming from the hood. And unfortunately, it leaves you stranded on the side of a busy road. Your car gets towed to the nearest mechanic, and you find out that it has serious engine problems. He explains the problem has been going on for quite a while and that you could have avoided it if you had done your routine maintenance. He says he can repair your vehicle, but it will be very costly. Unfortunately, this is how many of us approach our health. We'll feel like something's off, but because we can still move and walk and relatively function, we continue to push through it and hope that it just goes away. So we tend to ignore or cover up these early signs, and we keep it moving until it's too late. Back to the car analogy. So the mechanic explains to you why oil changes are important. He tells you that oil lubricates and protects all those meticulously engineered moving parts in your car's engine. Having it changed at regular intervals is one of the most economical ways to get peak performance out of the vehicle you rely on. And here you are having to pay way more because you didn't take the time to take care of your vehicle. So when you were telling yourself that you needed to get the oil change, but you just put it off and you convinced yourself to wait another week and then it turned into 6 months and here you are hearing the bad news, then you're upset because now you are missing time from work and you have to come up with the extra money to repair your car. Now let's back up for a moment. Fortunately, the mechanic found the problem. So what if the mechanic came back to you and said this? Hey, just use this tape to cover the check engine light. Your vehicle will still drive. It'll might be a little bumpy, but it'll be okay. Or what if he said something like this? The smoke is normal. Your vehicle is old. Just live with it. Some of you have heard that before. You're just getting older. Live with it, right? So you see the similarities, why I'm getting into this? So I want you to understand that we wouldn't accept this for our vehicles, but we'll accept this for our bodies, our vessels. Our bodies are the vehicle we use to get us through life. This is the most valuable vehicle that we have. So again, we're talking about routine maintenance. Other than lubrication, oil also keeps your car engine clean. And the detergents, dispersants, and other additives transport dirt and debris into the fuel filter, which is replaced during the oil change. Now, once your filter becomes clogged, all this grime is forced to circulate back through the engine. And believe it or not, our bodies are pretty similar. The oil can be an analogy for the blood. The blood is our lifeline. The blood constantly has to be cleaned and filtered out. And we're going to talk about that when we go into the systems of the body. So clean oil gradually becomes dirty sludge. The engine's moving parts have to fight through the sludge, forcing it to work harder. Same thing in the body. Once it gets dirty and grimy and toxic, it takes more energy and it has to work harder. So what happens is the body doesn't have energy to perform other vital functions, and then other organs and systems start to break down. All right. So stay with me. It's all going to make sense. And the harder your engine has to work, the more gas it will burn. And that means you will be spending more of your hard earned money at the pump. If you go long enough without an oil change, the engine might overheat and blow a gasket or cause costly damage to the parts of the engine. Depending on the damage, you may be forced to buy a new car. Same thing in the body. Once you stress and overexert an already stressed out system in the body, time after time, over and over again, that system can break down, which can lead to other problems, which can be costly. A lot of these issues with the vehicle could have been prevented if it had been properly maintained. For your car to run properly, it depends on its systems. And a system is an organized collection of parts that are highly integrated to accomplish an overall goal. So here's a quick rundown of the main systems in your vehicle. You got the engine. You know, the engine gives your vehicle the power it needs. You got the very important braking system. You have the coolant system, the exhaust system that safely routes dangerous fumes from your engine to your tailpipe. You have the electrical system, which is rather elaborate, from powering your radio to starting your engine. And you also have the fuel system. You know, for your car to drive, it needs gas. So for your car to run properly, it depends on its various systems to be in strong working order. For your body to run properly, it depends on systems as well. Your body has systems that work together to serve a common purpose: growth, reproduction, and survival. Each part of a system depends on the other parts to perform tasks that can't be achieved by single parts acting alone. So back to the vehicle. Can the fuel system work alone? Can the cooling system work alone? Can the exhaust system work alone? No, they all have to work together. And when one system breaks down, it eventually puts stress on the other systems, and then eventually the car will not work at all. The human body is made up of a number of interrelated systems that work together to maintain a stable internal environment. And it's way more complex than a vehicle, but it seems like there's better vehicle care than there is human care. Before I became a doctor, I was actually an engineer. And I could see myself as a body engineer because I'm fascinated with how the body works, how it's put together, and what it needs to function. So when I'm working with my clients, I'm looking at the pieces of the puzzle. I'm trying to find those pieces that are missing so that the body can function as a whole. We need our body parts working the way they're designed, and if there's an area that isn't working, we need to understand what it takes to support that. So think of me as your body mechanic, and I'm here to help you understand the complexity of your body and how the body needs to be looked at in order to get well. So the more you understand how it works, the better we can start seeing some results. Now, again, I know a lot of you aren't science majors, but this is why I'm here. And you don't have to know everything, but if you understand the core concepts, it will help you a lot. And I'm going to get into these systems in just a minute, but I kind of want you to help see where I'm going with this and how you can understand why you feel the way you feel and why what you may have done in the past hasn't worked. So I'm about to share with you how fascinating this is. I know you're going to hear the excitement in my voice, but the body is absolutely amazing. I love studying how it operates. I love reading books on anatomy and physiology. I love reading about the human body. I love reading about what makes us sick and what makes us well, because the more I understand this, not only has it helped me with my health and my family, but it has helped with the people I work with as well, and why I want to share this with you. So let's go back into this. You are made up of approximately 50 trillion cells, which are the building blocks of your body. That's already amazing to me. So next time you look in the mirror, you are looking at 50 trillion cells and how they all came together and created what you see. That alone is just fascinating and just amazing. Cars are not built that way. So just that alone should teach you how to honor how amazing you are. These 50 trillion cells carry out specialized functions important for your health and well being. Cells also contain your body's hereditary material and can duplicate themselves. There are about 200 different kinds of specialized cells in your body, and these cells are organized into specialized tissues such as muscle or connective tissue. And the tissues organize to become organs such as the stomach or the heart. And the organs form organ systems that all work in concert together to sustain the body you live in today. This all starts with the cell. So when your cells become healthy, your tissues become healthy. When your tissues become healthy, your organs become healthy. When your organs become healthy, your organ systems become healthy, and then you have a vehicle that is working the way it's designed. So these cells depend on each other to keep the body functioning as a unit. There are hundreds of types of cells, but here are the most common. So we have the stem cells, and this cell is the raw material with the potential to form many of the specialized cells found in the body. We have the bone cells that develop the bone tissue, blood cells such as the red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets. We have the muscle cells that form muscle tissue. And the fat cells are the building blocks of the fat tissue. Now, let me spend a little time talking about fat cells because many people assume that fat cell in the body is the enemy, and that's not completely true. Fat or adipose tissue is found throughout the human body and is concentrated beneath the skin, between the muscles, and around the internal organs. Fat is either stored or utilized for energy. Fat also produces hormones that influence insulin sensitivity, blood clotting, blood pressure regulation, and cell signaling. And fat is essential for holding on to critical nutrients. It insulates the body and enables the cell membranes to function properly. So without fat, we would freeze and our bodies wouldn't be able to perform many of its vital functions. Okay? So it's not all that bad. And we also have skin cells that make up the skin, nerve cells, which are the basic unit of the nervous system, endothelial cells, which form the inner lining of the cardiovascular and lymphatic system, the sex cells, which is the central part of the human reproductive system, pancreatic cells plays its role in regulating blood glucose levels, as well as the digestion of proteins, carbohydrates, and fats. And we have cancer cells, which are abnormal cells that destroy the body. Okay? Now remember, most of these cells become tissues. Tissues become organs. Organs become organ systems, which are a group of organs that work together to perform one or more functions in the body. So now let's go through the systems of the body. We have the musculoskeletal system, which provides mechanical support, posture, and movement. The cardiovascular system circulates blood around the body through the heart, arteries, and veins, transporting oxygen, nutrients, and hormones throughout the body and carrying away cellular metabolic waste. The respiratory system exchanges oxygen and carbon dioxide between the body and air. The nervous system is made up of the brain, spinal cord, and nerves. And the digestive system is for the mechanical and chemical breakdown of food with the purpose of absorbing nutrients into the body and removing waste through the gastrointestinal tract, which includes the mouth, esophagus, stomach, and intestines. Then we have the urinary system, which includes the kidneys, bladder, ureter, and urethra. And the purpose of the urinary system is to eliminate waste from the body, regulate blood pressure, and regulate pH. The endocrine system is the hormone system. The immune system defends the body against potentially dangerous pathogens. The reproductive system is involved in the reproductive process. And finally, the integumentary system consists of the skin, hair, and nails. The body's busy, and all this has to work together 24/7. In future episodes, I will be getting into many of these systems and things that disrupt these systems and also things that support them. But for now, I just want to give you an overview so that you can start to respect and appreciate and value the bodies that you have. The better you take care of your body, your vehicle, the further you can go. Your vehicle will last longer. It will be more reliable. You won't have to be afraid of it breaking down all of a sudden. I want you to know about your vehicle so that you can take care of your vehicle and begin to treat it like your most prized possession. Appreciate what it allows you to do. Value what it allows you to experience. Honor it, because when you take care of your body will take care of you. And as you understand more about your body, it will help you outline the steps that are required to not only get you well, but keep you well. Don't put things off when it comes to your health. If you are experiencing symptoms or something just doesn't feel right, you got to discover what's triggering them, finding what's causing it, and eliminating it and repairing it as soon as possible. This is why we have to put wholeness back in health. We can't just remove and treat one system without understanding how it affects others. And we also can't wait until our bodies are at a point of no return before we start to make changes in our lives. We need to know how to tune up our bodies. We need to make sure that we're getting our routine maintenance. We want to make sure that everything is functioning the way it's designed. Our bodies don't come with an instruction manual, but just know that this is a process. And every week, I'm going to go into these topics in more detail. So just know there's a lot to this. And I know I shared a lot today. So I'm going to let you go and just really let you digest this and take some time to reflect on this and how this information can fit in your life. And we'll continue this conversation next week. And until next time, you go out there and achieve more freedom in your health and your life. Take care.